Ooh, good evening. Interesting. It is the 6th of 7th, David. It's the 7th of June, 2020. It's Sunday evening. It's quite peaceful here in Kent. The weather's not too clever, but we do need the rain, let me tell you. Evening, lovelies. Nice to see you. Interesting weekend. Interesting year, to be fair. With everything that's going on in 2020, it's quite mental. Kenny Mac, hello, gorgeous. Wendy, oi, Savaloy, nice to see you. To see you, nice. Interesting times. I got a notification this time. Merv, hello, mate. How are you getting it? Does it just come up on your phone? Does it just come up and say, that idiot's live now? Is that what it says? I'm just sharing this one out. Yeah, it's we're seeing some really weird stuff going on, peeps. It seems like everyone's too easy to be offended. And because everyone's too easily offended, mad things, crazy things are happening. In Bristol, protesters have pulled down a statue of 17th century slave trader Edward Colston. What's that all about? Danny Mullins, hello, Gorge. Carlos, oi, Jane. Hello, Jane. Lovely to see you. How are you? Merv, yeah, pretty much. That's all right, mate. I'm glad. It's good. I'm trying to just grow this. I mean, it is what it is. To me, it's like my saloon bar. You know, this is my saloon bar. I'll pop in here, and it's like going into the pub. All right, this is like going into the pub for me. Although I don't drink much, to be fair. I had a few scoops last night. My missus's birthday yesterday, and yeah, so it was all good. So they're pulling down statues. They're smashing up London. A woman, I think it was a woman, caught me yesterday, run into red, amber, and green stop sign, and she took herself off her all. So it might have been a geezer. I think one of them's in hospital now with a broken collarbone or something. I would put a bunker underneath. Yes, mate. Yeah, I've often thought about doing that. When I built this place, I had my own digger. Jane's got her haircut. Lovely, jubbly, sweetheart. Well done to you. I'm very lucky to have my own hairstylist, although I've not used it today. I look very windswept. I did toy with putting an underground container in and kitting it out for sing-alongs. Or I do a lot of karaoke in here. As you can see, I've got a karaoke machine over there and a microphone. I do a lot of singing. I like to keep myself uplifted, you know, and I find that a good sing-song and a good joyous thing really bobs you along. In actual fact, there's a group. Well, they're not a group as such, but they go. I'm not gonna play this out loud. I need to find the name of the group. They're called HSS, the Hindley, Hindley Street Country Club, and mate, they're knocking out some tunes. They've got some fabulous female vocalists, and the band itself, they're just awesome. They're putting out some good stuff. They really, really are, and they lift me up. Look, listen to this. They're putting in some good stuff, yeah? I won't play too much of that before I get censored. You've got to be so careful. I need to get censored. But they're really good. The Hinckley Street Country Club. Unbelievably fantastic. They really, really are good. And they keep me in a nice upbeat thing. Madeleine McCann. There's a big thing here on the BBC. Madeleine McCann suspect. Police investigate disappearance of 2 other children. BBC News. Madeleine McCann there, popping back up into the. I wish she was popping back up into limelight. I never took much notice of the Madeleine McCann thing. For one, it wasn't my business, but I must admit, when I've looked at Jerry and Kate, you have to question. I think I'll just look. I'm thinking, don't. But maybe that's just sometimes, you get an inner vibe, don't you? You get an inner feeling. You just know. Evening, Dave. Daniel Mullins. Yeah, hello, mate. Nice to see you. Colin First put one in, and it's fantastic. Did he? Yeah, I did. I was tempted, but I'd give my digger away to my neighbour's son. Because my neighbours have been very kind to us over the years. And I kind of partially blew it up, just blew a water pump up, and I wasn't using it, so I let him have it. But I was tempted at some stage to dig out and put a bit of an underground thing in. It would be great, wouldn't it? It really would. Colin First, is he the guy that does all the inventions? Is he the guy that's got all the different funky things underground? He plays a bit of music and stuff like that. Is that the guy you're referring to? I'm not too sure. So, yeah, I'm just on here tonight, guys, having a chat, seeing what stuff's going down. Lots of stuff, lots of activities. My friend, one of my good buddies, actually, his two daughters are in the Met Police. And so one of them, I think, CID, and the other one is in uniform, and she's off up to the city today to deal with all these BLM people. And I'm not too sure what it's all about, because I've never really done the violence and stuff, because it never. That's it, yeah. Colin First, he's brilliant. He's really good, isn't he? He's a guy that the metal builder, absolutely bonkers. Yeah, he is. He's far crazier than I am. One of the ladies here that rides our horses, her daughter rides. She said to me earlier, I see her out a couple of weeks ago with her friend walking down the lanes, and they now call me Conspiracy Dave, and I'm like, oh, okay. I said, do you know what that means when someone just calls you a conspiracy individual? She says, no. I said, it means that they're too lazy to go and check stuff out for themselves. And she went, guess you're right. Guess you're right. Most people ain't got time to go and check stuff out, have they? Really, let's be truthful. But yeah, it's just Sunday evening. We're just chilling out. Trump fires back at James Mattis after scathing criticism. I think Donald Trump's doing good stuff. I do. Should be truth, Dave. Hello, Jesus Jones. Dr. Dawson. Gorgeous man. How are you? Evening all. BBC will misdirect you to their narrative. Who is paid by the Rothschild, Soros, etc. Yeah, I agree. When we was having a cup of tea earlier, they were talking about, they keep using this word lockdown, right? And I said, look, the universe gives you what you ask for. If you keep using the word lockdown, it's going to give you that. Because the consciousness, that's how consciousness goes, yeah? So what you keep asking for and what you keep feeling, you'll manifest. And they went, oh. I said, stop using the word. Just get on with your lives. I personally think the government is tortillas. It is putting a tort on every single man and woman. Soon you won't be able to. Look, you've got no freedoms, ladies and gentlemen. Especially if you want to go on transport and use the transport system. You're going to have to start putting masks on or get the heavy boys on you. I mean, I felt my words failed me on that one. So that's a tort on us. That's torture. Remember, no cruel and unusual punishments. It should be us that decides what we want to do and whether we want to be respectful of people, etc., etc. Not government telling us what to do. They're just taking us down the path, man. They're taking us down a really crooked road, and we've got to be really, really, really careful where we go, where we end up. We really have to. So just exercise your due diligence. And I don't know when all this craziness ends. And I know it is absolutely crazy right now. But we have to persevere nonetheless. Never gave me a definition. I would put on a Frankenstein mask. Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Maybe get some masks of Jimmy Savile. Get on the buses with them on. Watch the kids flying off the top deck. Yeah, Jimmy's back. Actually, I'm going to look on eBay, see if there's a Jimmy Savile mask. Hey, Darth Vader helmet. Now, that would be class. Trust me, Stuart James. I'd pay to see that on a bus. Balaclava. Can you imagine getting on a balaclava nowadays? You go into the bank, see how you get on. Go into the bank with a burqa on or a balaclava, see how you get on. All the crazies come descending on you. Tort law is very complex, and you can win with torts. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Dr. Dawson, I've got a book on torts. If a tort is on you, a tort is on you. Put a balaclava on, KKK, see how that rocks. Exactly, Carlos. Darth Vader helmet. Now that's class. I'm going to see if we can get Jimmy Savile mask. Let's have a quick look on eBay. Let me just go to eBay, and then we'll see. Or Jimmy Savile jogging bottoms wrapping around your head. He was a dirty swine, wasn't he? We've had some beautiful people, haven't we, in the establishment and stuff. Good God. You know, even the TV presenters have been nonsense. I can't stand it, man. But it's got to change, right? It's all got to change. We've got to be living in enlightening times right now. Oh, that's better. Let's see if I can get a Jimmy Savile mask. Let's see if they're selling them on eBay. Oh, hello. No, Jimmy Savile. I didn't put a space in the middle. Perhaps he didn't like it all as one word. Jimmy Savile. Holden. Dirty boy. No Jimmy Savile masks. Oh, God. But a Darth Vader mask would be good. Or maybe a Stormtrooper. If you got to go out on public, just funk it up a little bit, you know? Make one out of your missus's G-strings or a big pants, whatever girlfriend you've got or missus you've got, yeah? And whack them over your head. We've got to be ingenious. We've got to turn everything that they're doing and put a spin on it. Evening, Dave. Rufy Stockley. Hello, sweetheart. How can they still enforce social distancing after all this is happening? Well, I don't know, mate. I don't know. That's the answer to that. Sheep's wool. Yeah, sheep's wool, mate. Oh, that'd be lovely, wouldn't it? Put a sheep on your head. Get on the bus with a sheep on your head. Drive it over Tower Bridge. Boom, boom, boom. Why not? It's just, I find it's kind of unnerving when it's not so bad with the people that you know. I mean, we had people round for a meal last night, you know, and I'd rather just live my life and be normal than live in this, whatever this is that this is. I can't be dealing with it. But it's when you go out and you bump into people that you don't know and you see how they are and how they're reacting. It's weird. I mean, it is really, really quite disturbing. I try not to go out. I try not to go into towns because it's scary. People are scary right now. Tony Blair mask on. Put Tony Blair mask on. Cool, yeah, could you imagine? I don't like Tony Blair, to be fair. One of the biggest warmongers of the 21st century, that boy, with him and Bush. We've got weapons of mass destruction. Okay, yeah, never found them. But the thing is, people are so passive that they just accept it. Oh, well, they got it wrong, crack on. And it's just wrong. That was heinous, to go into Iraq and that with any justification and just bash the rubbish out of it because we felt we had the right to do so. Man, that's sorely wrong. It really, really is. It's disgusting. Can't be doing with it. So I don't know how long this is going on for, but I don't think this is going to end anytime soon. I really don't. And because everyone keeps talking about it, lockdown. I'm like, you are manifesting this. You are manifesting your own enslavement and being put in a cage. Why would you do that? Why would you manifest that future? Sure, be respectful to one another, but shouldn't have a government telling you what to do when you can go out, when you can't go out. This track and trace app it's a heinous crime against mankind. We're not autonomous. We're not robots. We're not owned property. I think we're going down a really dangerous road, but we've got to carry on doing what we're doing. Let me make you aware So-called honourable MP. Yeah, exactly. Keep away from Donna Proctor. Hello, John. Lovely to see you. Put a pig mask on and see how that goes down. Yes. Oh, yeah. A bit smelly. A bit smelly, like a meat mask. Be like something out of Star Wars. Remember years ago, what Star Wars when they was all in the bar, blah blah, and everyone's got them da 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 da, and they go, oh, there's weird. That could be us. That could be us in the next coming few weeks on a bus. You could be having Star Wars scenes on your buses with all your different masks on. You get them little trumpet. That's all you need. Some of that. You'd be having a right time. It'd be like Star Wars. Is that the cast of Star Wars that's gone past me on the 37? Wallet. Yes, we're in Bristol. Yes, we are with Bristol. Yeah. Bristol, beautiful part of the world. My missus is Bristolian. And I went up and trapped her up years ago and she come down to Kent. She don't mind it down here, but in her heart, she does love her Bristol, to be fair. And it's a lovely place, isn't it? It really, really is. Bristol is. It's beautiful. So we got, where are we going with this, peeps? Make your own out of sausage and bacon. Beacon. Did you mean bacon? Meaning they're all controlled. You're going to see it. Everyone is just so mind controlled right now that I think these politicians can pretty much make up whatever it is they want and people will just comply. They just roll over. They're just going to do it. They really will. If Boris Johnson said tomorrow, right, you've all got to walk down the road with your pants down and your bum cheeks hanging out, I think most would do it. They wouldn't question. Because they don't question. They've lost the ability to question. It's quite sad. It's quite sad. One should out Boris mask and sing Boris, who the F is Boris? Yes, Kenny. I'm loving it. How you doing up there, brother, on the in Scotland? Are you doing all right? You okay? We've got some nasty weather here today. But we need it because it's quite horrible. It's not very nice down here at the moment. But it has been sunny and it's been dry. Obviously, no one's going to be going abroad at this time. There's now, I think, going to be 6 people allowed. You're going to be allowed to have 6 people in a gathering from tomorrow. Mate, you've been locked up by politicians. They've locked you up. They've had their way with you. And they haven't even wiped the shoes on the way out. You're allowed to. Oh, we're going to be allowed to go out from Monday in 6. Oh, are you? You're going to be allowed, are you? Yeah. They've said we're allowed out. Fully grown men and women in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, youngsters, 20s, all saying we're going to be allowed out from Monday. We're going to be allowed out. Yeah, 6 of us or more. It's going to be fabulous. You was always allowed out, ladies and gentlemen. You was always allowed out. This lockdown thing's a psyop. It's a military operation. And it's been put into place to see how dumb schmucks we are. By bringing in documents to private profit corporation, which each and everyone is complicit. Looking back in history in Germany, World War II comes to mind. When a government becomes private. Amen, Docker. It is. The government is a private corporation. And they're only looking out for their own interests, ladies and gentlemen. They're not interested in you guys at all. You're their serfs. We're serfs. And if you don't go with their truculence, they implement their men and women with weapons, don't they? And you're all in fear and you're all worried about the Inland Revenue coming around and tapping on your door, or the TV man, or a bailiff. But Jesus, what have we become? It's quite savage, really. And sad. Absolutely sad, that is. Umbrella Grape Solution. Hello, darling. Evening, Dave, and all this madness. A very British psyop, where we literally keep a step up a lip and queue 2 minutes apart in barriers. Yeah, they're air hugging now. People are air hugging. The schools, the kids, they're air hugging. I wouldn't even have a clue what an air hug is. Who's making up these words? Who's coming up with these new phrases of air hugging? Who's putting out this malicious communication? Yeah, I had an air hug yesterday. It was amazing. It was amazing. It was so nice, this air hug. Oh, I felt so great when I air hugged this individual. I've never heard so much baloney in all my life. This is nothing to do with racism. It's submission to communism, mate. Absolutely. This is, yeah. And I think if people actually, I mean, we've seen people going to beaches. Mum, am I going to school tomorrow? Mum and a son sat on the beach. Mum, am I going to school tomorrow? No, son, it's not safe enough. And she's surrounded by 3,000 or 4,000 people. I applaud the people that have been going to the beaches and turning out in their droves, because if this coronavirus is going on, it's very sad, it's very tragic. But in the same time, it doesn't mean you should lose your freedoms, people. Your loss of freedom is not worth a virus. It's worth riding the storm of the virus to keep your freedoms. It shouldn't be rolling over. You shouldn't be like just passively accepting. Well, because they're laughing at you. Boris Johnson just laughs. He's going, oh, they're as thick as pig shit. I think he must sit there, and they must sit there all day thinking, what can we do that's going to spike them, that's actually going to make them start questioning and realising what's going on? If ever they will. Put your glasses on. You put your glass. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand it. Politicians locking you up. Like I said earlier, it all comes from the schooling. You know, you grow up, your parents, your mum and dad give you lots of love and this, that, the other. And then you get into school and then your teachers like sit in the corner, be quiet, put your hands. Do you remember sitting in school and put your hands on your head, yeah? That's all about doing what you're told. We're taught from a very young age not to be spirited and to be gorgeous and to know exactly who we are and where we are. We're taught to be compliant and to just roll over. And that is a sad reality of where we're at. Now, I never did that at school. I never rolled over. I was always spirited. I always thought, nah. But that's where it all starts, you see. It starts at school, and then you go through your life in that indoctrination of we must respect authority, we must do what they say, we must be compliant. But that's a dangerous thing to do. And it's dangerous because you end up where we're at today, right? You really do. I was told to get behind a chair at 5 years old. I mean, what's that all about? And these teachers, they have a lot to answer for. They have a lot to answer for. And I would not be sending my kids to mainstream school right now. I'd be like, nah, these bad boys are staying at home. I wouldn't put my kids through that indoctrination. I really wouldn't. The distancing, it's messing with their heads. You've got to bring back some decency, people, some love and some gorgeousness, because otherwise I think all will be lost. And we don't want that. We're greater than that. We're better than that, right? We're far better than that as a people. We really must be better than that. We've all been pigeonholed and put in boxes and told what to do and where to go and pay your mortgage and pay your bills and do, which, I don't know. I know that the system we're in now acts like a vulture. And as much as it all seems brilliant when we're all out, getting married and getting mortgages and trying to get on this ladder and that ladder only to fall down at the end of the day, what have we become in the process? It's outrageous, isn't it? It is quite a funny thing when you go into the deepness of it all and the unwinding. Mine are staying home and we're getting back to nature and positivity. This is a choice we have to be brave and bold. Amen. See, people taking back their lives, taking back their consciousness, their wisdom and their decisions. And I pray that you get on all right. Spike the water in Parliament. Give them the smart water that you give to us, but make sure the smart water for dumb people, eh? What are you drinking? I've got a bottle of smart water. Oh. Can you tell me how that water's smart? I don't know. It just says it's smart on it. Fantastic. Smart water for dumb people. I mean, Evian, the beautiful, beautiful bottle of water, Evian. When you hold that bottle of Evian into the mirror and it reflects back at you and it calls you naive, you go, oh my word. That's how someone did that years ago, purely by accident. They walked up to a mirror where they had that bottle of water in their hand, might have just been in the gym, you know, doing a bit of Pamela Anderson body workout or whatever, got in a bit of sweat. And as they held the water and they hadn't done it, they looked in the mirror and it reflected back, naive. And they was like, oh my God, right in front of your face, man. So, smart water for dumb people. Smartphones for dumb people. Oh, I've got an iPhone, yeah, track and trace. I'm not allowed out now for 14 days. I've got to go and have a test, a COVID test. Yeah, oh, look at this, check me out. That's where smart technology's got us. Now, quite a few years ago, one of my friends had a court case and he won it hands down. He did it all himself. He's a very brave soldier. And when I went round to his house to go, Highlands Spring to me, yeah, Peckham Spring water, I do it for me. We've lost the connection. Oh no, we're back. We're back. The old internet played up a little bit there. Man, track and trace. I mean, what is that all about? We know where you live. What's going to track and trace you? You must stay indoors unless you comply. We will send the Gestapo around and they will come around and shoot you. You crazies. Unbelievable. Track and trace. I can't, it's unfathomable that we've allowed this. Anyway, my friend had this court case going on and he requested all the evidence because he was going to present himself or take himself to court. And when they finally had to release the info, he got all the files. Now, every text message, every phone call, they had all stored up in these, whatever it is, all these databases. So make no mistake and be under no illusion that whatever you do on your phones and tablets and smart devices, that it can be used to your detriment. All right, absolutely can properly be used to your detriment. So just be mindful of that fact. Okay, so COVID track and trace, it's a bit like a credit score system that they have in China now. In China, they switch people off and stop them eating and drinking if they violate the credit score. And I can see that coming here. I can see people actively accepting the mark of the beast. I can see people queuing up to have their microchips put in their hands. I can see it. I can see in the near future people just bowing down and taking the mark because they just don't know how to be free no more. And maybe people like me were just dinosaurs trying to keep the spirit alive. I don't know whether we win or we lose. I'm not too sure. But I have to stay firm in the faith that what we do does reach people and people do resonate and they do change up and switch up. Like I've got loads of friends that do. The Flat Earth iPhone Elf app that's deletable has already signed up for COVID tracking. Bluetooth is on. And so too on Android has Google COVID tracking settings now. Deactivate Bluetooth. Yeah, good shout. Turn your Bluetooth off. Get them off. Mice in space. I saw that too. So weird. Just on my way to the COVID-19 briefing. Go on, my son. Anne-Marie Sarfield. Hello, sweetheart. Nice to see you. Danger Mouse. Umbrella Solutions. That mental lull. Just here listening and catching up on messages. And you popped up here. Oh, bless you. Nice to see you, darling. Proper nice to see you. So yeah, I mean, I'm just living in the bubble, my bubble, and doing what I've got to do. But it's a scary place out there right now. Not so much, like I say, if there's people that you know that's not so bad. But it's when you come across other people that you don't know, then they're just absolutely acting mentally right now. And I've got to be honest. If you start getting on these public transports after the 15th, and if you're brave enough to just go in unmasked, how dare you, you're going to have your eyes scratched out. It won't be the police you've got to worry about or the enforcement agents. I'd love to see an enforcement agent try and give me a fine. I'd love it. I'd like to see a copper try and give me a fine. I would. I'd like to see any of them try and give me a fine. That would be so funny. I just would. I'd love... We're going to find you. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is going to be interesting, cuz. Come on, give it your best shot. But you after the 15th of this month, you think you've seen it all, yeah, and you think that you live in a decent nation. You wait until you watch the public transport system. You are going to see the rising of this zombie nation. You are going to see people packing out the carriages with all these face masks on. And you're going to be like, what the actual is going on here? You will. I guarantee you're going to see it. You know you're going to see it. Don't you? Hello, Deborah. I like to be the cameraman on that bus. Yes, Merv. Beautiful. Crazy times, proper gobsmack. Honestly, I went to do a call out a few weeks ago for an elderly couple. And as I turned up the drive, she went, I've opened all the doors up. I've disinfected everything down. If you could just make your night. Oh, fucking Starship Enterprise. Where's Captain Kirk, man? Beam me up. Come on, where's Scotty? Where's Spock? Nanu, flipping Nanu. What is going on here? We had a giggle, actually, at the end of it. But she said, my daughter said you're not allowed to touch anything. I'm like, oh, my God. Arky-darky. Arky-darky. So you're going to catch a virus off the middle handle, are you? Okay. Okay. All right. I'm just like, whoa. I'm just like, whatever. People think these masks are a saviour. They're not a saviour. They're not going to stop anything. This isn't going to affect anything. This putting on a mask is not going to stop anything. Certainly not going to stop a virus. Not a chance. It's madness to think that they will. If you sneeze, your sneeze goes up to 18 foot. So where's the social distancing? And what's this 2 meters all about? There again, it's all about compliance. You must comply. You must do all these things. This is all about control. That's all this time period is about control. And maybe this is it now. Maybe this is the new future. Maybe this is the new norm. Maybe this is what everyone's destined to inherit. But I know one thing. You are going to miss the old like you've got no tomorrow. I mean, you are going to properly, royally miss. You are. Perry Ram, hello, darling. Nice to see you. We had a nice chat yesterday, mate, didn't we? Sonia Ballard Scott, Gorge, just tuned in. Yeah, we're just having a rather nice Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. Mrs. out horse riding round the corner. I'm just looking out for one of them on my yard right now. I can't turn this camera around so you can't see. But yeah, we're all having a nice time, mate. Just in the chair, but just having a laugh. Sharing my life with you, beautiful people. Breathing in toxins from your own stale breath. Can't believe people aren't using their own brains. But I haven't got a brain. Reminds me of that Straw Man song in The Wizard of Oz. Do you know what I mean? Do you remember, didn't you, when Dorothy goes up and he's laying in the field and he's putting all his stuff back in and she goes, wow, you can talk. Keeps falling over. She keeps having to pick him up. Why? You can talk. I'm a straw man. It's funny, isn't it? What a funny film that is. I tell you. The Wizard of Oz Decoded is fantastic to watch on YouTube, by the way. And also The Matrix Decoded by... oh, God knows. What's The Matrix Decoded by American bearded guy? Used to be an occultist. Why's my brain gone south for the winter? Perhaps I am the straw man. Who knows? But if I only had a brain. You didn't know I was a singer, did you? Nah, you didn't. We should put a plant in the mask. Yeah, pot plants. From the 15th, things are going to get really fucked up. In all your towns and city centres, you are going to see the zombie apocalypse. All rising. All rise. Brave enough to walk out the house and foolish enough to wear one of these masks, which potentially will do more damage than good, because you have to keep playing with the mask. You keep touching your ears and your face when you've got the mask on, right? Is that good for you? I don't think so. Your eyes keep coming up round all your face and round your eyeballs and everything. And then you're breathing all the CO2 back in that you're trying to get out, and then you're feeling all claustrophobic. What's that doing to your mental state? Can I take the mask off? Can I not? Can I? My missus said yesterday, she said she went to the shops. We got a Lidl's in Maidstone. And she said, I'm stood in the queue, got all my stuff on the thing, and I want to cough, I want to sneeze. Because she got a bit of allergies. And she said, the harder I'm trying not to, the more I'm like... You know what I mean. You want to sneeze and you're trying to... She said, but damn, because I know that people were going to be, incoming! Everyone dive! Telling you. You know, don't you? You know. You go out nowadays and sneeze. You sneeze, everyone else farts. Oh, hello. Who was that? You know, don't you? Everyone's not, they're not worried about, they're just worried about, whoa, who's sneezing? Who's coughing? What? You got the Rona? Not that I know of. No, just hay fever. You sure have you been tested? No. You go and get a test. Go to doctors. Come on, quick. Get on the app. Track and trace. Track and trace is mother trucker. Come on. And your friends are ringing you all up. Oh, by the way, if anyone does have my telephone number or contact details and you have downloaded Track and Trace, do us a favour. Remove my details from your phone right now. Because I don't want none of that stuff. That's too much Big Brother in my life. If I got a text from Track and Trace today saying you best come in for a test and isolate, you know what they're getting? They're getting the Winston V. Oh, yeah. I'll just be like, crack on. Paula, I smoke. I'm scared to cough. Yes. I could just wear my motorbike helmet at all times. Yeah, why not? Get in there. Get in there, peeps. Most of our communication with people is facial expressions. Exactly. We're missing out on a ton of interactions with people. You know that. Are you really going to all accept this as the new norm? Are you going to allow coppers just to arrest you and drag you off the street because you won't comply? Papers, please. We must see papers. Do you have a passport to travel? Have you had your test done? No. Well, we're going to arrest you then and cuff you up. And what the fuck? Perhaps this is the full manifestation of the Dark One. Maybe it is. Maybe this is time. I have said that we're in Revelation, and I did say that we're halfway in the 7-year period of the full manifestation of darkness, and maybe that's just what this is. Maybe that's what this is playing out. I don't know, because it certainly don't feel like God's country to me right now. The freedom, the liberty that we all once enjoyed. You know, I pretty much grew up as a little tearaway. Dodging here, ducking there, weaving here, doing this, doing that. You know, I've always been someone that wanted to get on in the world. I see the world as a beautiful thing, you know, and I don't kind of see it like that at the moment. I do myself. I do. Trust me, I really, really do. But when you see what's going out there with the numpties, with the muggles, you've really got a question. You know, pulling down statues in Bristol of a slave owner. Yeah, it might not be nice. You might not agree with it, but does it mean that you have to get involved in all this mindfuckery? Because whether history is good or bad, you learn from it. because we all learn by our mistakes. If you fall over or burn yourself on the oven, you learn from it and you think, best not do that again. So we learn from all these things, and we've got, protesters pulling down statues of Edward Colston. I mean, it should never have really have been up in the first place. And I guess it probably was put up in the 17th century to remind people that slavery was a bad thing, right? So that every time you walk past his monument in Bristol of Edward Colston, you was reminded that slavery was a bad thing. I'm not too sure that they put that up there to glorify him. I think they put it up there to remind people of what a swine he was. Watching Jim Davidson and get his take on things. I actually think Jim Davidson's kind of quite a wakey. Lee Ryan from the boy band Blue, he put his reputation on the line a few months ago. And said that this is a loaded smoking gun, what's going on right now, and we should all be careful. He got properly pulled over the coals for it. But that's not right, because that's not him having his freedom of expression. And boy, that man can sing a tune. I'm telling you, he got a beautiful voice, Lee Ryan. And he's come out and said a lot. And there's a lot of people that are, Prince years ago did an interview and he said, I want to know what happened to people. He said, everyone was all chilling out, having a nice time. He said, and then I started noticing spraying in the sky and everyone started getting nasty and wicked. Next thing you know, Prince is dead. Michael Jackson called out Tommy Mottola of Sony Records. He said Tommy Mottola is the devil. Those were Michael Jackson's words. Next thing, Michael Jackson's dead. Whitney Houston found in a bath. She was calling it out. Amy Winehouse wanted out. She got to a point where she didn't want it anymore. She said, I want out. And she had a concert during Prague, I think, Budapest or somewhere like that. And she said to her music people, fuck it, I ain't going. Her dad should have manned up and stepped in and protected his daughter. She said, no, I'm not going. So she got off her face and passed out. Next thing she knows, she's woke up in Prague. They've put her on an aeroplane and flown her out. Instead of getting an hospital out to her, an ambulance out to her, this is what we're living in this country now, right? This is the power of these sickos. She's woke up in Prague with the raging ump, but still off her face, and give the worst performance of her life. And why did she give her worst performance of her life? Because she didn't want to be there and her heart wasn't in it. So she wanted out of the music industry, right? And it would have been nice to have let her bow out and just appreciated stuff that she'd done. Paint It Black, what a fantastic album. What a voice. I see her perform live at, what castle was it down near Sevenoaks? She was there with the Isley Brothers. I was there with Neil Francis, the Victor FM DJ, and a few other buddies, and this, that, the other, and we was having a nice time. And it would have been easier just to let her bow out and remember her for the greatness that she had done and made. And but oh no, they wouldn't take the claws out of her, and she took her own life, really, because I think that's probably the only way she could see out was, I'll kill myself then. I truly believe that what was going through her mind at the time was, that's my only out now. Dave, you need to have an elf warning on your channel. I'm cracking my sides laughing. You make my day. Thank you, Pauline. Always a pleasure, mate. Never a chore. History needs to be remembered. Good or bad, burning retarded, playing straight to martial. There you go. 27 is no age. Exactly. Poor Amy Winehouse. I mean, I when we see her playing down at this castle, I'm trying to think, where was it? It was, not Lullingston Castle. Anyway, she was a warm-up act for Kool and the Gang. That was it. I want to see Kool and the Gang. So I'm a bit of an old funketeer, you know. And it was just when she was up and coming. And to be fair to her, I don't know if she was on song that night, because she sat. We all sat outside having a picnic. We didn't realise we should have been in the grounds, and she sounded like a drowned cat. It was like, what is that whinging? What is that? Meow. So, and then we went to see Kool and the Gang, and then we realised a little while later, when she made Paint It Black, she come on Top of the Pops and all that was Amy Winehouse, and that's just the way that she sung. But at the time, we was like, all right with that. We're glad we're not in there at the moment listening to that drivel. But it was a young up-and-coming Amy Winehouse. I feel so sorry for her. Michael Jackson warned us shortly before his death. Yeah, absolutely. Tommy Mottola is a devil. That's what he said. Sad, isn't it, what goes on? You know, and the reality is, we just come into this world to be free. We didn't come into this world to live in bondage. But we find ourselves in bondage in as much as banks own us. We're owned by the banks. I think that might be changing. I think that there will be no choice but to change. And I think that humanity, us, we need to stop being the levers for the system. And we need, like years ago, public transport, whatever you want to call it, was all free. The trains were free years and years and years ago, because if you tax a nation and on their workings, this, that, the other, there should be enough in the pot, and there would be enough in the pot. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if a penny was took off of everyone each day and put into a massive pot to run everything, the bridges, the trains, the buses, we'd have it all for free. But the problem is that our taxation system is one that is paying for private bankers' profits. Because when we're born, the system floats liens on us via the birth certificate, right? They float liens. So this bonded piece of paper, this birth certificate, is a lien. It's a bond. And they reckon that they might put 2, 3, 4 million pound in. They float on the markets because we've come into the world, and they know that in the lifetime of generally most people that they're going to get that back tenfold. So they're not that they really don't have a problem with floating liens on us and putting this paper currency on the back of us, because they know that it's a surefire winner. But it's disgraceful. It's disgusting. It's a very devilish system. My friend lost his mother a couple of years ago. And when he went down to pick up the certificate, I don't want a death certificate. When I go, I'm just fucking going. I don't want anyone to write up any fucking piece of paper about me and deem it valuable in a system. I think it's disgusting. I think it's satanic. But he went and took his mother's, he went down to pick up her death certificate, and he went into the office, and whoever was running it down at the GRO said, I'll just go and wait in there. I'm just going to go and do some bits and I'll be back. So he went in there, and his mother's death certificate was on the piece of paper on the desk. And when he picked it up and had a look at it, he turned it over, and there was a stamp on the back from McDonald's and this bank and that bank. And he's like, fucking hell. These people are trading on my mum's life after she's dead. What the fucking hell? What is going on, man? What is going on? The name in the watermark, which is a logo brand born into fictitious bonded tribe by ignorance and idiocy. Mate, I agree. We are. Prince was warning us too. Yeah. Break those mental chains. That's the big key. You got to unpick that lock. Once you break down the walls and break down the barriers, and you come back to the truth. And the only truth is that you are a divine sovereign being, and that can't be questioned. That can't be questioned or challenged anywhere by anybody, that you are a essence of the divine, and that your soul is perfect. That no one, but we get we're born into this wickedness, and we're seeing the comeuppance now. I mean, Minnesota is finished. I've just seen some stuff there this morning. I think there's about 20 police cars had turned up, and they're all smashed up. They're all burnt out. You can see that they were once police vehicles, but they've been burnt out, smashed up, windscreens pushed in. And I think maybe that the American police might be losing that war in America, because the people far outnumber them and outweigh them tenfold. Maybe that's just how they change their country. Maybe that's the way they do it. I don't know. But I think that President Trump is sitting back a little bit, mate. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what Trump's doing. I know he called the Guard in to Minnesota and they had it under control fairly simply. And we had people talking to the military men, and the military men were in tears, and they said, we will never fire on you. Now, why don't we have that ethos in all public services and sectors? Why don't the police, when you question them, say, we would never hurt you, we would never harm you? We don't have that, do we? It's so sad. It's quite sad to live in this time when all this is going on, man. I mean, it really is. Because there's a lot of hurt out there, and there's a lot of bad things happening for really no reason. Really, really no reason, because we're living in this system of illusion. And the illusionary system is the wickedness of it. And we need to break out of them chains. We need to break out of them walls. And we will. Absolutely we will. Trust me. We certainly will. It is 6:45, my little lovelies. I'm going to go and make some dinner. But I idly chit-chat in here, and I wish this channel to grow, because I think there's going to come a time when good, upstanding people really do make a difference in this world. I can feel it in my bones. And we just need to keep shining the light on the darkness and bring the darkness to the light. Everyone in the system that's operating in darkness, we need to bring them into the light. We need to make them check themselves and check their own consciousnesses. Because for the stuff that they've been doing to us for many years, we've been doing a lot of it to ourselves as well. But we need to come out of this, and we need to come back to some greatness. Because otherwise, I don't like what I think might come into full view. But we're not going to allow that. We're not going to tolerate that, ladies and gentlemen. And America is burning right now, big time. We've seen the police taking knees. We've seen the police begging to protesters to stop the violence. That's a good thing. Maybe they might be humbled somewhat and start doing the right thing. We've got a lot of coppers in America now doing videos, going online and saying how disgusted they are about what's going on in their country, and that their men and women in uniform should be honouring the oaths they took to serve and protect property, life and liberty. There was a guy pushed over a couple of days ago, hit his head on a pavement and blood come out of his head. There are people calling that a false flag and saying that he was rigged up. But out of that, a whole police department have resigned. 42 individuals within that police department that witnessed what had happened have resigned. That's brilliant, because it means that they're checking their conscience. It means that their soul isn't resonating with that evil wickedness anymore. They've gone, no, mate, that ain't right. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to serve and protect. We're not here to push people over and kill them. That's not what we're here to do. To the individual in the Met Police that come off a horseback yesterday by taking out a set of lights, I hope you mend well. I hope that no physical major damage was done to you, and I hope that you have a very speedy healing process. And to all the rioters in London at the moment that are causing all this disgusting mayhem and destruction to property, you're shameful. You're absolutely shameful. You're no better than naughty kids spitting your dummies out. It's disgusting. The scenes that I've seen over the last couple of days of how these so-called protesters have been behaving in London is shameful to all of us, to all walks, all colours, all creeds. It's shameful behaviour. They're not decent people. Enjoy your food, Dave. Love listening to you. Keep your videos coming. I can see great things coming from this channel with your knowledge. Thank you, darling. Oria's Light. What a beautiful, beautiful thing. Deborah Vernon, what a lovely thing to say. Thank you. God bless you. Without law order, we've got chaos now. There's chaos going on everywhere now. America's properly in chaos. Properly in chaos. Now, President Trump turned around and told everyone that they best stand up for their Second Amendment rights and they best protect them. He tweeted it out. He said, you best make sure that you are defending your Second Amendment, because if not, you boys and girls are going to lose it. And everyone paid attention and everyone went out and bought guns. You'll never, ever bring proper tyranny into America. They have too decent a right to defend themselves. We're the only ones that have been pulled out of alignment. We don't have our defences. We just have bully boys now with all the weapons making massive threats. Oh, we're going to come and do this. We're going to come and do that. Well, that's just wrong, because lawmakers can't be lawbreakers. And we're at a point now in this country, it doesn't matter what you say, that they're using force on you. And that's how they're making their legislation stuff stick to you, is because they're using force. Well, I won't tolerate that. That makes them cowards. It makes them wicked, evil people. Well, I know what happens to evil and wicked people. They don't go to a very nice place. Would you want to go to hell? Because that's where they're going. That's exactly where they're going. When all these people get involved in all this wickedness and they do bad things to people, when they're in a position of trust or not, you do wicked, bad things to people, that's how you get judged. So, yeah, things to think about, people, things to ponder. As always, I love you, and I'm really grateful that you're helping this channel grow. You're bringing the energy. You lift me. Keep your spirits up. Keep fighting this idiocy that we've got going around the world at the moment. The Swiss carry guns. They didn't get beat as their people all defend. The Swiss model is fantastic. The Swiss army is the people. They don't have an army. They have the people. They have an air force, which is out of their control. But the people in Switzerland are all ready to go within 5 minutes. They're trained. Their whole people are their army. What a beautiful role model. Anyone in Switzerland's got a spare house, mate, I'm telling you, I'm fucking selling up. I'm going. I'm only teasing. I would never run and leave this country. Never. Born again, I answer to the divine creator. Absolutely right. Yeah, I agree with you, Docker. Only in this existence and the afterlife, to my fellow beings and the creator, I swore under oath and testify my oath to the one true God in Genesis 32. Amen. They have the World Bank to protect. Yeah, not so much that. It's not about protecting the World Bank. It's about they know what goes on. I'll never forget a documentary by a Swiss guy that went to Auschwitz, and he was stood at Auschwitz, and a woman come up and started sobbing her heart out when she was looking at all the shoes and boots and clothes and glasses, the piles and piles and piles of it after all the Holocaust or whatever it is that went on there. Personally, I'm not too sure about the Holocaust. I think a lot of people died, but I think they died from typhus and malnutrition. And personally, I don't think the German infrastructure had enough infrastructure to get rid of 7 to 10 million bodies. I really don't, because that is some feat to get rid of 7 to 10 million carcasses. Let me tell you, that is an industry right there. I don't think that was supported. I don't think them numbers truly died. bearing in mind Anne Franks died of typhus, Anne Frank's diaries that they found in a room in Holland. But personally, the Swiss, this guy was stood next to this woman, and he thought to himself, do you know what? I'm glad that would never happen in my country. Because the German machine armed itself up to the teeth, and Hitler did what he did, and he mobilized all his troops and his SS and all these other units that he had. And the people of Germany were just held to ransom by him. And that ain't no different from what's going on in this country right now. We're defenseless. Our people in our country are defenseless. Individually, they get picked on. The system comes round, takes their houses, takes their kids. It's a shameful thing. We've got to fucking stop this. We really have. It's pure evil. And we're not an evil country. We need to stop this, I tell you. And I think it will be stopped. So on that note, I love you as all. Take care of yourselves. I should probably come back to you tomorrow evening at some point. Docker Dawson, mate, you keep trucking. Love you to bits, mate. You're a good soul. Jesus Jones, Chernobyl was worse than Auschwitz. Exactly. So, yeah, I'll catch up with you all soon. Thanks for tuning in earlier today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just trying to make a difference in a dark world. We need to come back to light. We need to come back to God. We need to come back to who we are and ignite that divine spark within us. But if we all choose to come together under the rule of law, we could take this country back in a heartbeat, and we'd do it in such a gorgeous way. And I'm here for that. I'm here for that. So you look after yourselves. Take care. And I'll see you all very, very soon. Thanks for tuning in.